Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Podmoth.
Dans notre au quotidien, ces secrets
Located on the edges of your radio static, you've stumbled upon The Lost Signal, your podcast destination for tales of horror and the macabre, brought to life with voice acting and sound effects. New episodes are released every 2 weeks on Monday on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Join us, won't you?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey, what's up, you guys?
I'm Kathryn,
And I'm Hayley,
and we are Saturdays for the Ghouls.
a Podmoth podcast.
How are you, Hayley?
I'm doing good, Kathryn. How are you?
I'm doing good. I've read all day for really is all I've done today, so I'm having a good day, I think.
You had a good day off? You enjoying your 4-day weekend?
Yes, it's Sunday of the 4-day weekend of Memorial Day, in case you guys wouldn't know that because it's not going to post then. Yeah, I had a good day off, and basically I just read books though. That's all I did. Oh, and chores and stuff.
Love
Adult
that.
things, but I read a lot in between. But yeah.
Yay. I worked, but it's fine.
Oh, you got to make that money. It's summertime, and so I'm reading a lot of romance because in like the spring and summer, I'm much more of a romance girly. In fall and winter, I read a lot of thrillers and horror. Anyway, I digress. It's my topic today, and I worked really hard on this because it's something that we've talked about doing. And in a previous lifetime or in another day or another week, it would have been maybe a dual episode where you brought some, I brought some. But today it's going to be just me, and I'm bringing you some deep sea nightmares. So animals that live
Oh,
in the deep sea or other waters. Some of them don't live in the deep sea. But just like nightmarish, terrifying, awful animals who live in water.
bro.
Anyway, did you want me to just hop into it? Do you have anything else to talk to the spooky Spookies about before we get started?
I don't know about hopping into it, but I'm going to dive.
I'm a diving.
Also, I have a very rational fear of the ocean, especially the deep oceans.
Yeah, me too.
I applaud you on this one because this one for me is the SWs.
So every time, okay, so I was like pulling up the Google like search results for each one of these, and I implore you to not do that. Or don't swipe on our Instagram post if you don't want to see them. But they're terrifying. Yeah. I had to take breaks from research because I was like, I don't want to look at them. I was like, let's click into the Wikipedia page and scroll past that picture that's at the top of the Wikipedia page. Anyway, so I'm bringing you 10 creatures of the water. I'm going to give you like a short description of what they look like and a little bit of like why they're terrifying. I
And
love
these are
doing this.
real? These are all real? Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they are each and every one of them exist in the water somewhere.
I was just in the ocean, Kathryn.
Which
A few
ocean?
months ago. Whichever one is in
Pacific?
Cancun.
Where's Cancun? Oh, it's in Mexico.
It's okay. So when I look at the map, I'm literally like this far from Florida.
Oh, you were in the Atlantic. Wow.
So all these monsters are from the Atlantic.
Some of them probably live all over the ocean, every ocean. Okay, let's just dive right in, if I can say that. Okay, so I just want to preface. Oh, sorry.
I was like, I can guarantee you I'm not diving in any ocean after this, ever.
Yeah, I know you won't. I know you won't. Okay, so I am going to attempt to pronounce some of their Latin names. Okay? Because you know how like they have species names and then like names that they
Yeah,
go.
like their scientific name.
So I have all their scientific names. I cannot promise you that I know what they are or know how to pronounce them. Yes.
Okay, so I have a funny story. We play that game Cranium, and I forgot what the question is, but it's basically a question on what's the scientific name of this specific primate.
Yeah.
And it's a multiple choice question, and one of the answers is gorilla. And no one ever thinks it's that, but I specifically remember that question when we get it, and I'm like, the answer is gorilla.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's the
how is it?
scientific name.
Oh, weird.
And I think it's very
for
weird.
a gorilla?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a
Weird.
type of gorilla, but there's like different types of gorillas.
Okay. So I'm gonna start us out with a fish that we probably know about. Okay. You probably know about from a little
Nemo.
movie. A little movie called Finding Nemo. Yeah, you probably saw this fish there.
I pulled that shit out of my ass.
You did. Okay, so the first fish we're going to talk about is called the anglerfish. Okay, the anglerfish is that little fish.
With
Are
the
you
little
scared?
light.
Yes,
With the little light.
light on his little head and then yes, okay. So we're just going to talk about yes, we're going to talk about what he looks like. The scientific name for them is order Lophiforms. Lophiform. You know what? We're going to just see how everyone's going to yell at me about how I pronounce things.
I love that the word loaf is in there.
Oh, it's LOPH. So it's
Is it
loaf.
loaf?
Could be. Don't know. Anyway, so anglerfish are deep sea fish known for their distinctive bioluminescent lure, or it's also referred to as an esca or an ilisum. And that's the little thing that emanates from their head as like a little, yeah, it's like a little arm that has just like a little light that hangs out from the forehead. They have typically a round body, same, with just kidding. They have a very large mouth with sharp inward pointed teeth, and then very small eyes that are adapted to be able to see in the dark depths of the ocean. Are you scared yet?
I hate this. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to watch Finding Nemo ever again.
Yeah. Okay, so the real anglerfish is a lot scarier than the Finding Nemo one.
Mhm.
Don't look it up right now. You'll get scared. Okay. So the luminescence that comes off of the little light on his little forehead comes from bacteria in the water that's down in the deep sea as well. So the reason why an anglerfish is relatively terrifying is because of their little lure or their little glowy thing. They use it to attract prey in pitch black deep sea. So that means that they are all the way at the bottom of that ocean because it's very dark down there and they need something to see what they're going to eat for dinner. They have a very grotesque tooth-filled jaw that makes them look like creatures from a nightmare. And some species also exhibit extreme sexual dimorphism.
Never thought we would be talking about anglerfish and sexual shit in the same sentence.
It's just reproductive, okay? What sexual dimorphism is where the tiny males will attach themselves to a larger female in a parasitic manner.
So the men are leeches.
Yes. And they also have a polyamorous or polyandrous mating system, meaning that one female can have many males on her as a parasite at one time. And
Oh,
they're
she a
all
hoe.
no, she is a working lady who needs to reproduce. Do not, if we support anything here, it's women's rights and wrongs. They want to have parasite men on them as many as they want, they can.
Well, I was gonna say,
Anyway.
does she even know that all these
She
men are on
probably
her?
doesn't even know. She just knows that
Oh,
she's gonna have babies and that someone's making her have babies.
assault.
Anyway, you know what? I think we need justice for female anglerfish. I'm gonna
Jesus.
make a t-shirt that says justice for female anglerfish. Okay. Anyway, that just means that the female will mate with multiple males at one time. So this is just a teaser of what's gonna come in the rest of this episode.
I didn't
But
think that the anglerfish would mess me up like that.
Hayley was making like the reason why I'm giggling while I talk is that Hayley's just making the worst faces because she's scared and terrified. And internally, I am making the same faces as well. I made them all this morning when I finished my research.
It's like uncomfy.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Which is
we're
why
gonna
I'm
move-
making a lot more jokes. I'm like, justice for anglerfish.
Yes. Justice for female anglerfish. Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna move on to number 2. That was all for anglerfish. See, they're short. If you're feeling like you can't get through it, just know that it's gonna be over any minute, any moment. This one animal will be done speaking about. That being said, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is and I hate the name of this little fish. It's called a tongue-eating louse.
Why?
You'll find out, Hayley. The scientific name is Cymothea axuga. Sorry. This is what they look like, okay? The tongue-eating louse is a parasitic isopod that infests fish. So what it does is it is a parasite that enters into the fish's gills and attaches itself to the fish's tongue. That louse will then replace the fish's tongue and make their original tongue fall off due to, quote, necros, meaning that it's going to cut off all the blood flow to the tongue, making it basically just like if you get cut off any blood flow to your arm, you're going to lose your arm. Same thing. So their tongue falls off and they replace the fish's tongue. It then anchors itself into the tongue's. Sorry, Haley's face is weird. It then anchors itself into the remaining tongue stub and acts and functions as the fish's new tongue. So the reason that this is terrifying, if that's not terrifying enough, the reason that this is terrifying is that the concept of a parasite that not only consumes but replaces an organ like a tongue is again nightmarish.
It's very nightmare fuel.
The
The fish is just, hey, this isn't me.
I'm trying to eat. I can't eat. He just breathed water. That's all he did. He did the thing that he was supposed to do, and he got a parasite. Anywho, this gruesome adaptation allows the louse to feed off of the fish's blood and mucus while using the fish's mouth to its advantage. Here is the bright silver lining of the tongue-eating louse.
Oh.
They are not harmful to humans. Even if you accidentally eat one, or even if they are in a meal, like a lot of them, they are not harmful to humans. Your tongue will not be eaten or fall off, and they are not poisonous to you, even if they're in your regular diet. You can eat a tongue-eating louse. A fish? That's another fucking story. But you can eat a tongue-eating louse.
Cool. I'm glad my tongue is safe.
Just imagine, what if the fish that you've eaten had a tongue-eating louse when it got caught? Crazy, right?
I hate it.
Does that help you?
Now I'm just gonna be like, every fish I eat, I'm like, I wonder if this had a tongue-eating louse in it. I ain't gonna hurt me, but the thought of a parasite in my body,
Yeah.
still not comfy.
Nope, that's right. Anyway, but that's it. That's it on tongue-eating louse. See, that wasn't that bad. It was just short. It was little.
Did you do it in the least scary to most?
No.
No.
Okay. We're moving on to number 3.
Number 3, my lord.
Number 3, my lord. The next one is called a blue-ringed octopus. And the scientific name is genus Halopalchalinia.
Yep.
I think that maybe if it's not informational and someone doesn't learn anything, they could laugh from the scientific names. Anyway, okay, I gotta tell you, the blue-ringed octopus is actually so fucking pretty. If you like look up the pictures and you only look at it in a certain way, it's really pretty. Okay.
So if
She's
you look at
actually
it from
like
the
really
good
pretty.
angle.
Yeah, like everyone has their good angles. This you'll understand what I mean by that. So the blue-ringed octopus is a small, vividly colored cephalopod. It's found in the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Haley, Pacific Ocean. That's the one
Okay.
near you.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Just reminding you.
But I'm also at the part where you said she's pretty.
She's so pretty. Anyway, typically she measures around 12 to 20 centimeters, which is about 5 to 8 inches. There's so many men that wish they could measure up to her.
Oh.
Um,
I was gonna be like, oh, that's average.
the first number, but the second number is definitely not.
2 out of 3, baby. Above average.
Okay. They only live about 2 to 3 years. So that means that like their first year they're a baby, the second year they're a teenager, the third year they're an adult. Like their years go fast. I don't know if that's necessarily true. So this octopus is known for really bright blue rings on it that become more vibrant if the animal is threatened.
Oh.
So if she's like scared, her rings are gonna brighten and be more vivid.
Instead
And then
of blue. Blue.
I
Blue.
put low key, they are pretty. Why they are terrifying is that when they feed on an animal, they have something that can protrude that's called a horny beak. And this beak will release venom into their prey, and they'll pounce, grab, pull it in, and release the venom that paralyzes the prey so that they can eat like crab and shrimp because it's pretty small. So it's not going to be eating like giant things. Despite its small size, though, the blue-ringed octopus carries enough venom to kill humans as well. In fact, she carries enough venom for at least 26 humans to be killed. This bitch, she could take out an army of people. The bite is often painless, so you might not even know you got bit unless you knew that you were near her and you saw it happen. Venom means tetrodotoxin. Tetrodotoxin, which can cause paralysis and respiratory failure within minutes. And then lastly, there's no known antivenom, and so a bite is potentially fatal. The way that it is not fatal is that if you are bitten by a blue-ringed octopus, you would have to have someone do like chest compressions on you and breathe for you, do basically CPR, right? Until medical services can come. And then if you make it past 24 hours after being bit by a blue-ringed octopus, you're probably going to survive.
Oh my
But really, you
God.
need someone who can provide the life-saving efforts like CPR to you because your respiratory system's going to fail. You're not going to be able to breathe by yourself. So you're going to need someone to help you breathe because not only does it paralyze your body, it paralyzes your whole respiratory system. And that's how you die.
Ooh. Oh my God.
Are you looking at the picture or what are you doing?
I'm looking at the picture of the blue-ringed octopus.
She's
They're
deadly,
very
but she's
tiny.
pretty. Yes, she's very small.
They're very cute.
Yes, but cute, but don't touch.
Look at this cute. I mean, come on.
No, that's not what she looks like. It's a cartoon. That's a coloring page for a toddler. You have to look at the ones of her in the ocean.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ones in the ocean, and some of them are like bright blue, and I was like, oh, she was
She's
upset.
scared. She's scared. But anyway, I digress. You just don't mess with it, and it won't mess with you. So that's the thing. She doesn't bite unless she's gonna be. She's trying to protect herself. She's not gonna kill humans just for the heck of it. She can't eat a human, just in case anyone is scared out there. Don't bother them. Just be like, wow, you're so pretty. Bye. And then let them go. But that's the blue ring octopus. We're gonna move on to number 4. Okay, so our next little animal here. If you call it a little animal, they're less scary. The next animal is a goblin shark.
I know what these guys look like.
Okay. The scientific
Gob-
name is, I'm so sorry. The scientific name is Micarina oswasson. Ostoni.
I was like, damn, you still going? That's a long one.
No, I just couldn't say the last word. The goblin shark is a deep sea predator with an elongated, flattened snout and a set of protrusible jaws. This means that they can extend their mouth out and they have needle-like teeth. Something else referred to it as like a nail teeth like nails. It can reach up to lengths of 3 to 4 meters, which is 10 to 13 feet. The shark skin is, yeah,
Wait, its mouth can
no,
elongate?
no. The whole body is about 10 to
Oh,
13 feet.
okay. You said that it can like elongate its mouth or whatever. So
Yes,
then you
yeah.
said, I was like, oh
Yes.
my God.
No, sorry, it's just the body is up to that length. The shark's skin is pink or gray, like a pale pink or gray, which adds to its ghostly appearance. The body is flabby,
I
and they
too
have
am pink and flabby.
and they have small fins that mean and the fact that they have small fins often means that they're probably slow swimmers. Or I think one of the articles referred to them as sloth. So they're not like fast. So why these little dudes are terrifying? I think we've already covered the biggest reason why they're terrifying, and that's their mouth.
Yeah.
A goblin shark has a very eerie look, combined with its extendable jaws that are able to dramatically jump forward to capture prey. They actually can extend almost as far out as the snout is, and the snout is very long. This makes them seem otherworldly and menacing. It has slow movements, but the mouth is like a sudden movement. So the jaw is almost, sorry, the jaw is almost mechanical in action, is what they refer to it as.
I hate it. I hate it so
And
much.
speaking of jaws, it says that it's very reminiscent of a horror movie creature. Their flat snout also is terrifying because it's in the shape of a knife or a blade. It's like flat, sticking out like that. They have 35 to 53 upper teeth and 31 to 62 lower teeth. Not just teeth, rows of teeth. Anyway, their mouths aren't great places to be, so you gotta peace out if you ever see one. The article that I was reading called them grotesque. That being said, very little to no harm have they ever done to humans. Likely because they aren't where humans usually are. Down deep. Most humans don't go down there. That being said, they don't wanna fuck with humans really. They just have awful mandibles and they look really scary. But they
Yeah,
probably
they
won't hurt
do.
you. Yeah, they do. Flabby and slow.
Me.
I think you might really resonate with this animal. Because I feel like it's just up your alley, okay? You're gonna know right when I say the name. It's called a vampire squid.
Okay, yes, it is.
And its scientific name is Vampiroteuthis infernalius.
I love a good infernal.
The description of this little dude. A vampire squid is a small, deep-sea cephalopod. I've said that 3 times now. It has large red eyes and webbing between its 8 arms. So instead of a regular squid that has like individual arms and tentacles, they have the tentacles, but there's webbing in between it. It has a gelatinous body,
Ugh.
um,
Sorry.
and it can grow up to 30 centimeters or 1 foot in length. So the body's coloring is somewhere between a velvety jet black, I knew you'd love that, to a pale reddish color. And its name means vampire squid from hell.
Yep, I got that from the Inferno.
Yes. And it reflects its dark coloration and spooky appearance. But, contrary to popular belief, it drinks no blood. No blood is to be had by the vampire squid. It's just because it looks spooky. People were like, he looks like a vampire. Let's call him a vampire squid. So, there is a reason, though, why he's a little terrifying, though. Do you want to know why that is?
Is it? It's got red eyes.
Yup,
Is
it
it its
does.
mouth?
You know what? Let's just
Does it have things on the end of its tentacles?
not on the end. Let's go a little further in the notes.
Because I have heard of these guys, so I was like, I think I know what it is.
This creature has the ability to turn himself inside out to evade predators. And when he turns himself inside out, he has these little spikes that come off of him, little spiky appendages, spiny appendages, as a defense mechanism. They're completely harmless. They're just scary looking. They aren't sharp, but it adds to its very unsettling look, if you think about it. The squid's arms are also able to glow because of the bioluminescence, and they can use that to lure prey. But their tentacles are not feeding tentacles. They don't use it to feed. They actually have filaments that can retract that are in their center, so like up inside them. It can help them detect their prey. And they are also able to, if a tip of their arm or something is bitten off, they can regenerate their appendages.
Love that.
So they are able to feed using not their tentacles, and they're able to grow their tentacles back if they get cut off for some reason. It's not instantly, but they do glow just like the anglerfish, and that is to lure prey.
They are quite adorable.
Until they flip themselves inside out, they're scary looking at.
Look, looks like it's got ears.
Yeah. Okay, so our next animal is called the Goliath tigerfish, and its scientific name is Hycyanus goliath.
That one was easier.
Yes, that one was easier. Yeah. So the Goliath tigerfish is a large, aggressive, freshwater fish that is found in African rivers, particularly in the Congo River Basin. It can grow up to 1.5 meters or 5 feet in length, and it can weigh over 50 kilograms or 110 pounds. This fish is very muscular and is equipped with really long, sharp teeth.
I'm just imagining this buff ass fish.
Like Larry the Lobster.
Yeah. And then you said long teeth, and then I was like, oh, it's not Larry the Lobster.
The reason that these guys are terrifying is that they are almost mythical in the fact that they are like not a lot of humans
see them.
There's lots of reports that people see them, but nobody's seen them. You know what I mean? Like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. But people have seen them. They are real. They're not mythical. But the Goliath tigerfish is also capable of taking down very sizable prey, including other large fish. With its razor-sharp teeth and powerful jaws, it makes it a formidable predator. They will even eat smaller fish of their own species. So basically
So they're cannibals.
Yes.
Got it.
There are so many reports of them attacking humans, apparently, in the Congo. But again, there's not been like record. Like people say, oh, I was attacked by a Goliath tigerfish, but that's why they refer to him as mythical. But then there's this quote from this article. It's been called, quote, the greatest freshwater game fish in the world. So it's really good at hunting. So if you came in contact with one, it probably would attack you.
All right, gold star for attack abilities.
Also, they're in Africa. We don't have to, if we don't go to Africa, we'll never come across them because they're only freshwater fish. You're like, I'm still scared. Okay, so our next one has a really fun name. So the next one is called Sarcastic Fringehead.
Oh, what?
I was like, same.
I was gonna say silly
little goof.
It's actually terrifying.
Its scientific name is Nucleus blanchardi. The sarcastic.
That's not even any better. Nicholas Blanchardi.
Neocleus
Blanchardi.
Yeah. So the sarcastic fringehead is a small but highly territorial fish. They find them along the Pacific coast of North America. And then I put, watch out, Hayley.
So me.
Then they said, just kidding. You can only see them from San Francisco south. So you're good as long as you don't go in the ocean past San Francisco. But they're not that big, so they can grow up to 30 centimeters, which is a foot long. But they have a slender, scaleless body, and it has a disproportionately large mouth.
This guy sounds goofy.
With a name like Sarcastic Fringefish, what do you expect?
Actually, it's very high. It's right up at my expectations.
He's just a silly goose, honestly.
I was like, big head, little body. Big
Yeah, he's a
head, little body.
disproportionately large mouth, and he uses that to intimidate rivals or potential threats. While defending his territory, the sarcastic French head will open its mouth as wide as it can go, and it can be opened to 4 times its size. 4 times its four
That's
times.
that's
So then
scary.
he just unhinges his jaw and like
Just
straight into
rips
your
his
mouth,
whole body in half.
pretty much. So it's like he's like just mouth and little body. And guess what's inside his mouth?
A lot of teeth.
Maybe, but the most important thing that's inside his mouth is very brightly colored colors so that it'll attract prey into his mouth whenever he unhinges his jaw. It's like, "Oh, pretty." And then they swim right in. He doesn't gotta bite. They'll
Oh,
just
so he
swim
has
right
no
in.
teeth.
No, he might have teeth, but they're not substantial compared to his bite.
Mm.
Like his largeness of his mouth is more than his teeth. That's our sarcastic French head.
Oh my god! Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I was like, oh, he looks so derpy. He looks so
And then he opens
derpy.
his mouth.
And then the very next one looks like this. And I was like, that's fucking terrifying.
Yup.
That is so scary.
Yup.
Like he just looks like a grumpy old man.
Yep. Yeah.
And then
When he's not scared, he's not trying to eat nobody. He's Gucci. He's cute. He's goofy. He wants to
he's
eat
like,
you. He's scary as fuck.
oh my gosh.
We're gonna move on.
Okay.
This one I recommend not looking up.
Okay.
Okay. Our next animal is a giant isopod. Do you know what an isopod is? You'll find out.
Is that one of
scientific-
those like wait, is it one of those like horseshoe crab things? No?
Okay.
It sounds
You'll
very
find out.
familiar.
You'll know when I tell you. Okay, its scientific name is Bathynomus giantus.
Bathynomus
Slug.
giantus.
Yes. The giant isopod is a deep sea crustacean that resembles an enormous pill bug or a roly-poly.
Okay.
That's where you might know what isopod means.
Yeah.
This roly-poly per se, if you want to call a roly-poly, will sit on like the tip of your finger, right?
Yeah.
It's small,
You're super
little.
tiny.
He's not gonna hurt you. This one is 30 centimeters long, which is a foot. So he's
Big boy.
a big boy. And he's really scary looking. Even though he just looks like a roly-poly, he's really scary looking. These creatures inhabit the ocean floor, and they have a segmented armored exoskeleton.
Mhm.
And these are really what got me. Is they have these eyes that are triangular compound eyes. And they have over 4,000 facets. So a compound eye is an eye with a bunch of eyes, and that means that they have 4,000, what I understood, 4,000 facets, which means it's made of 4,000 eyes.
Oh, I hate it.
Yes. And then behind their eyes is a highly reflective layer, and that makes their eyes glow. And so their size is, quote, attributed to an effect called deep sea giantism. And that means that it's often that deep sea animals are so big and so gigantic is because they have so much space because there's not a lot of animals, there's not a lot of things down at the bottom of the ocean. So they have more space that allows them to grow so big. If you're not scared of them yet, the reason why they're terrifying is mostly their alien-like appearance and their scavenging behavior. So they feed on dead marine organisms and they make it like a very creepy presence in that deep sea. That if you see a giant isopod slowly crawling on the floor, it like looks like something out of a science fiction movie or something. But on the other bright side, they are not dangerous. They just like really look very unsettling. The reason that they're scary is really the way they look. And I blame the eyes, to be honest. Because the roly-poly doesn't have eyes. They do have
Oh.
eyes. Don't fact check that part. They do have eyes, but they don't
We
have
just
eyes.
never
Yes, they don't have eyes like this giant isopod. She's like Googling it, and then she'll like hold the phone away from her so she doesn't have to see it too close. Just imagine alien eyes onto a roly-poly, giant roly-poly.
Yeah, just like an alien. Sorry, they look funny.
They do look like a roly-poly.
Look how angry he look.
Yeah, he look angry. They all look angry. We
The-
only have two more. We're almost done.
There's the little butt.
Yes. The butt is not the scary part. It's the face with the eye.
Oh, the eyes. Oh, I don't know. The eye hasn't. I don't know if I just haven't seen the eyes at the angle you did.
Okay, so here's the thing. Imagine them glowing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's where.
Oh,
Okay. So the next animal creature has a hard name and a hard scientific name. Sorry,
damn.
I'm gonna do my best. This one's called a kangaroo, and its scientific name is Vandelia serosa. Serosa.
Mm.
Anyway, the kangaroo is also known as a toothpick fish or a vampire fish. This is a small, parasitic freshwater catfish that is located in the Amazon basin. It is slender and almost completely transparent. They grow up to be about 7 inches long, and so some can grow up to be 16 inches long. That's pretty big. And that's pretty basic how they look. They're not scary looking, really, but they are terrifying specifically because this tiny fish is infamous for its tendency to invade the urethras of humans and other animals because they are supposedly attracted by urine. This is a theory that may not be true from what I researched, but that's what a lot of articles said is that they're attracted to urine. When they do invade you in some form, it results in a lot of pain and potential complications that often require surgical removal. And that's because their spines are able to extend spikes out. So it's basically like, like a zip tie, when you put something in, you can't pull it out because of that little spiky thing. It's the same
Mhm.
concept here. They go in and they release their like little spine spikes, and then you can't pull them back out very easily without having surgery. Okay. So their spines are able to cause physical trauma to your body. There's one human who says that's been documented that said they experienced this, and it was in 1997. Supposedly, I don't know, there's like weird people don't believe that this happened. People don't trust the story. It's dated back to the 1800s though. People would like tie rope around their penises to make sure that they didn't get anything coming up in there. I don't know how true the story is, but this is like one of the most anecdoted stories regarding this creature. And this man said that he was in thigh-high water and he was peeing into the water river, right? And supposedly the fish swam up the stream into his urethra and embedded him inside of his urethra. And there are a lot of weird issues with the story. So again, I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but this is what a lot of articles reference it. And regardless, they had to do surgery on him where they had to basically cut the spike. They had to cut the spike of the spine so that they could pull it out, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Are you
Ow.
scared? Yes. Regardless, the odds of being attacked by a can how did I say it before? Kandiru are, quote, about the same as being struck by lightning while simultaneously being eaten by a shark,
Mhm.
which means it's obviously slim to none because the likelihood of you being eaten by a shark and struck by lightning at the same time, that's probably never going to happen, right? Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
This video literally says removing a Kindiro from a man's penis.
Yeah, they've referenced it, but for some reason, when I was reading the story, they kept on saying in the article, they were like, some people don't believe this happened. And I was like, okay. What I don't think is,
Oh my god. Do you know how when you look something up, it has behavior, predators, how to avoid? It says removal, and it says remedies have ranged from penile amputation.
yeah. So
Uh,
I think that the controversy with the story that they said is that the guy said he was in thigh-high water, so his wiener wasn't even in the ocean or in the water. and he peed and the thing swam up the stream. You know what I mean? I think that's maybe where the controversy of that story came. I think like urethra has to be in the water for it to go in. Are you laughing at me or are you laughing at something you read? I don't know what I said that's funny.
I'm just laughing.
I
I'm
said
just laughing
wiener?
at partially it's because you said wiener, but also I'm just looking and they literally just call this fish the penis fish.
Yeah, sometimes they call it penis fish.
So I just find it funny.
Yeah, yeah. Women have urethras too.
I know.
So it
I
could
was
go
like,
up into
so
a woman.
only men apparently pee in waters.
I think it's more so that your urethra is harder to get to. Their urethra is like out there.
Whoop,
Just yes. And your urethra is in there.
covered.
Yes. All right. So our last one. We're on our
Ooh,
last one. Are you excited?
yes.
Our last one is called the gulper eel or a pelican eel. And I promise I won't be able to say the scientific name, but I'm going to try anyway. It's Eubarnix pelcanidodes. That's all I got. So, firstly, this is a quote. The pelican eel is so fragile that they can become damaged when they are being recovered from the deep seas, imminent pressure, which makes it hard to know if what we know about them is truly what they look like because
Hmm.
they can be damaged when they're pulled up from the deep sea. But that being said, the gulper eel is a deep sea fish known for its enormous, expandable mouth, much like a pelican. It allows them to swallow prey much larger than itself. There's also no body mass behind the jaw, so basically it's just a mouth with a tail.
Okay.
So it can grow up to be about 1 meter long, which is a little over 3 feet long, and it has a long whip-like tail. I'd say a cat tail, right? Or an eel's tail, right? The reason why these pelican eels are terrifying is that, quote, when a pelican eel is in pursuit of a prey, it opens its mouth and a jaw structure unfolds and spreads horizontally. This unspreading event is followed by the inflation of the mouth. The inflation then is made possible given the highly stretchable skin of the head. In addition to this an additional characteristic that enables this eel to partake in this mechanism and engage in a lunge feeding and consuming large amounts of prey. When it preys on fish, it will basically clamp its mouth down around him, and then all of the water that's in the mouth is expelled out of its gills. So
Mm,
it's the only thing that stays inside the mouth is whatever prey that it just put in its mouth. The gulper eel's oversized mouth and ability to consume large prey give it a very grotesque appearance. So this is one that you might be scared of when you look it up. But even though they are big and scary looking, they mostly just eat shrimp and small crustaceans. And they actually have really small teeth. So that's not consistent with them eating larger fish, even though scientifically they could
good.
get a larger fish in their mouth because their mouth expands, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And again, they're not really harmful to humans,
Oh,
mostly because
God.
they're so far down in the deep ocean that you don't see humans down there. And yeah, that's a pelican eel for you.
They look like little tadpoles.
Yeah, but remember they're 3 feet long.
They look like big tadpoles.
Yes.
They're kind of transparent.
Yes. But yeah, those are all of my deep sea creatures for.
This one looks funny to me.
Yeah, that one looks
He's
kind of
like,
scary.
hey.
Anyway, that's what I got for deep sea creatures, nightmares, whatever you'd like to call them.
They definitely
And
are.
so they were all short, brief overviews of them. If you wanted to look further into them, you do that yourself, Spooky Babes. This was as much as I could do without getting too spooked. Did you have anything to tell Spooky Babes before we let them go?
Look at these with caution. I'm pretty sure Kathryn's gonna post them, but if you have a fear of the ocean, don't look at them, please.
It was enough for you to power through this episode with us.
Honestly, somehow the descriptions are way worse.
Yeah. The descriptions are way worse. I'm sorry about that.
Because like
But
my
hopefully,
imagination is just like
yeah,
awful.
yeah. I was trying to explain it exactly how they looked in the picture so that I could make it close to it, but I didn't Also, I think that the articles tell you like the biggest they can get is a foot long or 5 feet long, but not all of them will be 5 feet long.
Hopefully you're not listening to this at night. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully me cringing makes you laugh and not feel cringed.
Yes.
Hopefully my pain is your pleasure, but whatever.
All right, spooky babes. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you, especially if you are scared of the ocean like us, to stick through this episode with us. If you like our podcast, we would greatly appreciate if you rated us 5 stars wherever you're listening to it. And if you can, leave us a little note to say that you like our podcast. And follow us on Instagram, Saturdays for the Ghouls. That's where all of the pictures of these animals are going to be. So I'm sorry. Maybe just don't swipe on any of the pictures that are related to this episode. Anyway, we appreciate you very much. We are excited that you joined us today. And remember, you are important. You matter. The world is a better place with you in it. And we will see you
In your nightmares.